the Chargers, and they score!
Division II. Okay, wow, here we are, right in overlooking beautiful and very historic downtown Westerly, Rhode Island. This is unbelievable. What a beautiful venue we've got here, Dan. It's unbelievable, amazing. We've got a good group of people here. Really, this is kind of like iconic to have these people on. It's a little late, but never better late than never. That's what I say. And Coach, why don't we get started? But before we get started, I just want to just a couple of items that we have to brush up on. This is 4th of July weekend, and we're going to say Happy 4th to everyone out there. And also, our favorite baseball teams are not doing so well, Dan.
That's right.
Yankees got beat again. Fifth, I think it's the fifth in a row. The Red Sox won last night, and the Mets won. So I don't know who's happy or who's sad, but I know I'm not happy.
And I'm on the other side. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm a Red Sox fan. So Red Sox won 11-6 to the Nationals. So I'll take that.
Yeah, you take it. Well, I won't. I'll take it too because my wife is a Red Sox fan and my daughter's a Red Sox fan, and just I don't know how that happened in my family. Everybody's a Yankee fan or a Giants fan. So we don't fight over it, but we just have a what do they call détente? Just a lovely battle of war of words sometimes. But my wife, my daughter. I don't know how she became a Red Sox fan. The whole family was Yankee fans, right? So it's nice. It's a nice weekend. Beautiful weather. Be safe out there. I was down at the beach yesterday. It was packed, but we got some good seats. We were at the Andrea, and yeah, it was nice down there. It was beautiful. Anybody else down at the Andrea here? You work there? That's where I probably see you from, right? You're a server.
No, I'm a hostess.
A hostess?
Yes, actually.
Yeah, you. And when we came there, I remember you asking us if we wanted a seat, and we said no, and we went. We ended up getting seats, right? Believe it or not, right on the water there. They had those nice chairs that like wicker chairs, you know.
Oh,
Yeah. So the bartender served us. He says, "You guys got the best seat in the house," and we did. We have great seats yesterday. And with my wheelchair over there, I am getting a hip replacement. So anyway, Dave, right?
Yes.
Dave
Amato. Yep.
Not from Westerly though.
I am not from Westerly.
All right. I got to make that distinction. You're Italian, but not in a Westerly Italian, right?
No, I grew up in East Greenwich until I was in the 4th grade, and then I moved to the Cape.
No kidding, really? That's pretty cool. I like that. Anyway, why don't you go around the table and this is the Westerly High School girls lacrosse team, and they've done quite well this year. Fantastic year. And Dave, why don't you go around just introduce these 3 young ladies here and just tell us who's here and who's your captains and that kind of thing, you know. And I'll go over a few things that it's on my mind, and then you can go from there.
Sure. Across from me was our senior captain, Allison Faubert. She was our midfielder for the last 4 years, so she'll be missed greatly. Next to her is Casey Macera, one of the top attack girls in the entire division and league. She's a junior captain. And then next to me is Gianna Falcone, another junior captain, midfielder. Casey played attack. And Gianna is our draw specialist. You know, it's an important part. So it's been 3 great players right here.
Yeah, so when the draw is really important, especially in tight games, I would imagine.
Very important.
You know,
It's score, maybe get the ball back, score again. You can really do some damage when you can kind of piggyback going from goal to draw win, going back down the field. Puts a lot of pressure on your defense.
how did you look? How did you, John, Dave? How did you learn the game of lacrosse? Did you start it from when you were young, or?
I only played lacrosse for my senior year in high school, but my daughter wanted to play when she was in 3rd grade. So I started, she wanted to play for the Westerly Youth Lacrosse League. So we started there, and they needed a coach. So I started coaching, and I just fell in love with the game. I think it's better than the boys' game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not as rough, right?
It's rough in a different way. You watch the Division I championships, and whether it be Boston College or North Carolina, it's a very rough game. It's rough. Yes, there's no hitting and checking,
Right.
but the body positioning and the aggressiveness that they have, it's a very rough game.
Now you guys had a pretty good year this year, and in fact, it's probably one of the best years Westerly's ever had. But you moved down from Division 3 to Division 2. And that was a good move down because you guys. Wow, tell us a little bit about the move and how you've excelled in that kind of thing. You know, it's just really amazing how you did it.
Well,
You were the coach last year too. We had you in.
yes. Yeah, this is my 2nd year as head
Now,
coach.
Casey, were you in? We went on. Did you come in on my show
Yes, I think all 3 of us did come
last year?
year.
Okay,
Mhm.
Casey Massera. All right, all 3 of you. Well, that sounds like fun. Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Tell us about this team and how they've evolved and um, to go from. I mean, would you lose 2 games this year?
Well, we went undefeated in the division, and we had a very good competitive. I don't want to outside the division games, whether it be with Stonington, Ledyard. We played a team out of New York, Harrison. We played Waterford.
Oh,
So those teams, other than we lost all those teams except Ledyard. That was a 1-goal win for us. But it prepared us for Division 2, I think, pretty good. Going from Division 3, we kind of had a chip on our shoulder, and we ran through that division with a lot of talent, and the girls were really fighting hard to get to that state championship game. And then Division 2, we went in feeling like, all right, we could be middle of the pack, really not sure at all. We had no experience with any of the teams. And then we played in that, what is that? The injury fund. And right away, it started out looking like, you know what, we might be able to compete in this. And we sure did. They played
Wow.
well. They like to compete. It's fun to play competitive games. You don't want to win 20-4 all the time.
right.
That's not fun. You know, the girls want to. It's fun to win, but they want to play. You know, if the halftime and the game is over, it's kind of like, what do we do now?
Now those games that were out of state or whatever, those counted, right? They weren't games that just.
Yeah, this was our first year with the new Rhode Island rules where every game counts and it's on a point system. You have an RPI. And to explain the RPI is ridiculous because
I
I
know.
still can't figure it
I'm
out.
still-
It's a huge equation,
We're still trying to figure it out too, so it's
But-
not like you're the only one.
but we know that when we play a Division 1 team, you get 10 points. A Division 2 team was 6 points. Division 3, I think, was 4, and a Division 4 team, maybe 2. So you start with that, and then it goes by winning percentages. You get more points later on as their schedule continues to fade out a little bit or become a little more clear, I should say. Like we played Charahoe, but they didn't really win too many games, so we didn't get a ton
Right.
of points for that. But Ledyard did. Ledyard won a fair amount of games, I think. But anyway, we ended up getting more points for that.
Now, who adds up those totals? Someone in around the Scholastic League?
We enter that into our IIL, our scores, and as everybody else does, and then it's automatically done.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 games into the season, you can kind of start to see where your team is, because it'll show you your record, it'll show you your RPI, it'll show your opponent's winning percentages, and then however that formula works out, and that's calculated for a total points at the end.
Yeah. Wow. Well, tell us about your team, starting from, like you said, the beginning of the year, and all of a sudden they started to come alive. But who was you have assistant coaches too, right?
Excellent assistant coaches, John O'Selser and Diane Macera. Help a lot. It's great to have those two by my side for sure.
Now these people must have a lot of experience in the lacrosse league. That, well, I want to say league, but the stuff that goes on down in the Bradford area, and that's got to be a big help for lacrosse, right?
Oh yes, I mean the Westerly Youth Lacrosse League gives these girls an opportunity to play as they're young players, and finally when they become high school players, there's some experience there. I know that prior to having Westerly Youth Lacrosse, the Westerly girls, probably the boys as well, I don't think they were winning many games at all. That first wave of girls that came up as freshmen, pretty much all those girls started as high school players.
Wow.
So they had almost a full team of freshmen and sophomores because they had the experience. The girls that were ahead of them were new, just starting to learn. And it takes a lot to learn how to cradle, shoot, learn the game specifically. The rules are all over the place.
That's what a lot of people say. I go to the games and I don't really know what's going on, but they're learning as the parents and the people that are watching the games. They do learn. So it's amazing the way not only the crowd, not only the kids learn, but the crowd is getting really into it. That's part of the fun of having all of these kids do what they're doing. Now, I wonder what these captains are thinking. They've got two of the captains here have another year, and I heard you thinking about talking outside before we came into the studio here about the last game, which that last game is still gnawing at you,
Yeah,
So-
I don't like losing. It still haunts me. Thinking of different things that I could have done as a coach, maybe leading up to the game, game time decisions. But also Lincoln played well. That's a former Division I team. They came down. They were well coached. We beat them earlier in the season. That little chip on the shoulder, that had a little something to do with it. At least I believe that. If we lose a game, that's something that me as a coach, and I know these girls, we're like, we're not losing again. We're going to give it. We're going to do something different. That chip on your shoulder is pretty good to have.
Yeah, that's true. I can just relate to when I was in high school, and in football we had a pretty good team. We were undefeated, so it was something similar happened to us against East Greenwich. Both of us were undefeated, and we have the ball on a 3-yard line, and we the guys that were on that team go over and over and over what could have been and what didn't happen. And I heard you guys talking out there you know, and I said, gee, this sounds familiar because we did the same thing, 0-0 tie. And we felt a couple of things could have been done, whether from a coaching standpoint or a playing standpoint. You know, you just leave. It'll never leave you. Believe me. And the things about high school is that you gotta make sure that you give it your all, and because these memories will never go away. They're going to be there forever and ever. So playing for the Westerly Bulldogs, that's going to be quite a treat from here on in. You know, the Bulldog logo and a Bulldog, the way you the way you present yourself, and against the Lincoln School. Maybe next year you'll get another shot at him. What do you guys think? You guys want another shot at him? Yeah.
Yo, definitely. I mean,
Don't be afraid. Yeah, don't be afraid to speak up. Tell us a little bit about the game too.
we've got we're losing a lot of seniors, but I think we're in good shape with some of the newer girls, freshmen coming up, the freshmen that started and playing with us this year. Got a lot of experience. Some of them got to play in the championship game. We were lucky enough to have several JV games. In the past, unfortunately, a lot of schools don't have JV teams. So now you have a bunch of girls that don't play a lot.
Yeah.
So that makes it difficult, and it makes it difficult for girls to want to come back if they're not getting enough time to play. So we had some decent JV games. So they've gained some experience. So everybody improved quite a bit. Everybody's improved. So I think the program is in good shape going forward. It's always tough losing your seniors, the leadership, the experience. But if we can continue to get some great players coming from the youth league, we'll be in good shape for a while.
Yeah. Tell us about that last game. What is gnawing at you guys? What would you have done different, or what were some of the highlights of what went on? Because that was quite a battle. It wasn't just like a regular normal game. It was something that will probably stay with you guys for the rest of your lives. You know what I'm saying? And tell us a little bit about that. Let's hear from you guys. See what you're thinking. I mean, the score was 10-9.
Yeah, I definitely think with the game, like you really see how like in our team we preach a lot of like Bulldog pride, like being one with the team. And I think when we were down by a lot and having that comeback, that really shows like through the season, that was the hard work that we put in, and to have that comeback, that was just everything we worked on kind of coming together. And obviously we fell short in the end, but if you reflect and look at that, I think that definitely shows us as a team and shows that we don't quit until the clock is zero. And I definitely think that's like a positive we can take out, because it's not easy to find a lot of good in the game that you don't win. Like, I mean, you kind of have the title of a loss, but if you look in between the lines and see those little things, even with us like cheering in between goals and being there for each other, I think like everything we've worked on the whole entire season kind of came together at the end.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. It sounds like I want to get out there and play myself right now and help you out. So what are some of the big things that went on in that game? Because it was 9-9, right? And you tied it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the beginning of the game, it was a hard-fought game the whole time, but then we got down by a couple. But as soon as we got that one goal, it really just put us back on. Like, we're still in this game. It's not over. And we just kept going after that. We kept hyping each other up on the sideline, on the field. We were all there for each other. The energy was up, and we just kept going. And then we were tied, and then they got another one, and it didn't go our way, but we fought very hard.
And how about the fans? There was yes. a lot of fans there hyping you guys up. Mm-hmm. That was important, huh?
Yes.
That was at Brown, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big. Yeah. So
out of all the games that I've been a part of or watched, I think that segment of the game where we were coming back, of course, but to see the fans and the excitement and watching these girls play is probably one of my favorite moments.
Wow.
Having the fans cheering and supporting our girls and the comeback, it was really fun to see and listen to.
Yep. The end. Ella Reese scores with an assist from Zabarini with 3:36 left to tie it at 7. And Macera then assisted on. Now, how do you pronounce this young lady's names? Scanapiego. Scanapiego. Macera then assisted on a Scanapiego goal with 3:04 left to give Westerly its first lead, 8-7, since the first quarter. Wow. So the coach says when we're winning the draws and running, that's when we go on a run. Amato said we had momentum, but they got it back. Ooh. Maggie McDonald, forced on the draw most of the game, tied the score at 8. 2:16 left. She assisted on a Lenahan goal with 1:33 remaining for a 9-8 edge. Oh, my God. Until Phoebe Brennan scored for Westerly with 53 seconds to go. Casey's fourth goal of the game was the winner in overtime. Yeah. Westerly nearly repeated as a state champ on a higher level, but can take solace that it didn't struggle against better competition. So you had some good things going down. You got your goalie coming back too?
Yes, she'll be a senior.
Yeah. So you got some people coming back, and I think it's going to make you tighter, make you try even harder. That's where I look at it. Man, gives me goosebumps thinking about the way you guys played that game. You know what I mean, Dan?
Absolutely. That's probably one of the funner stories of our team was we had no goalie. Going into the season, what would you girls say? About 3 weeks, maybe 5 weeks going into the season, we had no goalie. Zero, nothing.
Yeah, it all started with our indoor season we played, and my mom, the assistant coach, one of our school friends, she asked, would you possibly be our goalie? And Vittoria Liano, she went into it just kind of doing it for fun. And then, I mean, you saw by the end of the season, she had our game-saving win. And it was crazy, her progress throughout the season as well.
Yeah. Dan, you play soccer, right, buddy?
I was soccer and basketball. I definitely know like what these guys are feeling when they were talking about the fans and just how much of a difference it makes. Because when I was a senior, we played in the Piper Cup for the Stonington League, and just having the fans there, I think it just made it that difference was definitely what impacted and ended up leading to our win over Stonington in the final. And I think, just the fans are definitely very important when it comes to major sporting events for any league, whether it's lacrosse, soccer, basketball, tennis, anything. I think it's very important to have the fans there.
Well said, my man. That's good.
And it's even more difficult, unfortunately, for girls. They don't get the support that the boys have.
That's true.
Things like that. So it's always very appreciative when we have support from other than moms and dads and things like that to come and watch these girls play. They deserve it. They deserve to be seen, and we appreciate you guys inviting us here because they should be noticed.
Yeah, that's one of the things that trying to get you people here was getting the word out that this is a pretty special team that we're talking about. It's not just run of the mill. This is a good way to get your publicity out. Get up there. What the thing is, the games are, before you know it, the games are going to start. Right? You look in the paper. All of a sudden, it's like the end of August, and they got games coming up, lacrosse games. So you got to support them right from the beginning, not just when it's a special game or a special event. You got to support these young ladies right from the start. And the boys, same thing. Boys, it's all of a sudden the boys are playing in a Piva Cup and blah blah blah, and that's soccer. But the lacrosse starts. They need our support, and I'm telling you that now I've got goosebumps from reading uh, that article, and I'm sure I'll be up there supporting and checking it out. Be a lot of fun. So tell me a little bit more about your team and your other players. Who are some of the ones you're relying on this coming year?
Well, obviously the goalie with another year under her belt. I think the experience. I mean, never playing lacrosse at all, and then jumping into Division II is quite impressive. Phoebe Brennan, the one that scored, I'm not sure if it was at the tying goal.
Yeah.
She actually was our first real time last year as a sophomore, playing quite a bit of varsity, and she's worked hard in the off season, and she'll be coming back, and she's a fun player to watch. She's going to be impactful, I think, for the next several years, 2 more years she's got. So she's got a bright future, and she'll be, if she continues to grow, I can see her starting as a midfielder and playing alongside Gianna. They play really well together. So that'll be 2. And Allison is one of the spots we need to replace. So that could be a good spot for her.
Yeah.
Jenna Parker will be a returning player.
She from basketball?
She's from basketball. She will continue to maybe gain a more role in the defense in what she says and does as a young player. She's just got a high motor. She's going to be fun to watch as well. She'll continue to grow. Ella Reyes is just a very good athlete. I mean, I think she plays 3 sports. I know basketball.
Yeah, basketball.
She played lacrosse, and I'm not sure what else, if there's another one. Volleyball.
Volleyball, that's right.
So she really was impactful mid-season to the end of the season, and I think she found her stride, and she'll be impactful as she goes forward as a freshman. So, and she can play a lot of positions. So looking forward to seeing her. I'm not really sure of the girls that are coming up just yet.
Yeah,
but they'll
all be.
I know there's our assistant coach. His daughter is coming up, Ella Seltzer.
Okay.
I've seen her play. She's definitely got some talent. So there'll be spots for her for sure.
Now, Dave, the article in the Sun was really great. I mean, I could read it and get goosebumps all day. But they mentioned a lot of face guarding by Lincoln. What's going on here? I thought that was illegal.
So no, it's not illegal, and it's difficult. Well, Casey was the one who was face guarded, so they wanted to take our higher scorer, our one of the prolific scorers in the league, out of the game as much as possible. And that's something that, as a young player who has her talent, that eventually you have to just somehow figure it out. There's not a lot of scheming that us as coaches can do. And as you become a better player, those are the things that are going to happen. You guys have played sports. My daughter is a college athlete playing lacrosse. And I used to tell her the same thing. As you get better, you're going to get face guarded. You're going to get doubled. That's the progression.
Right.
You want to be a great player. Now you have to figure that part of it out. And we didn't have a lot of time to teach and help Casey in that area. She did a good job, but the girl that was face guarding her stuck to her. It was insane. She was very good at what she did. So that's something that we need to work on as a staff, is to try to figure out how to help our players get free from double teams.
Right.
I mean, from face guarding. We face guarded. I love that part of it too, to try to take out that girl. In fact, That's one of the things that I question. Should I have face guarded? I keep forgetting her name, Juliana, at the end of the game, so she wasn't the one to beat us.
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot, and that there's a lot of strategy. That's part of the strategy, I guess. And there was a lot of strategy in this game. Man, you must have been going crazy. And then plus, after the game, you were probably thinking about, well, shit, I could have done this, I could have done that. Now this Juliana Casey, she's one of the best players in the state. She was.
Yes,
So Juliana Casey,
Mhm.
state's leading scorer. She broke the 9-9 tie. Right.
She did. I think she scored 4 of their goals, 5 goals, something like that, which we did hold her pretty well, which is why I was like, all right, we may not have to face guard her. Let's just play some solid defense, see if we can get the ball back, and then go.
So face guarding is you get up on a person and you don't let them move. Basically, you just
The girl that face guarded KC did nothing but look at her basically in the eyes and not move. The ball could have dropped between her
Right.
legs. She wouldn't have known.
Wow.
She was paying attention to Casey. That's it.
Well, that's some. It sounds like that's something really that you guys have, will be working on. But I'll tell you, it's a big tribute to the players of Westerly High School girls lacrosse to do what you've done. And and maybe next time you will be able to overcome the face guarding. Probably will. And who knows? Maybe any thoughts of moving up to Division 1?
That's not our decision. That's always RIIL. They figure things out.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. They'll move you up when you've lost half your team, and now you're sitting there in a division and may not win a game. That happened to us 3-4 years ago, whatever it was. They moved us to Division 1. All the girls that were successful that got us to that point were gone. They weren't even part of the team anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of.
And we didn't
that's
win a single
unfair,
game
huh?
that year. Nothing.
Yeah.
That was a rough year.
Well, I think probably Division 2 is probably where you belong. That sounds like it. That's from my standpoint. I'm just a a peon, when it comes to that stuff. But I do watch the interscholastic league moves, but not. I usually watch them in the basketball and the baseball and football and soccer, but not so much the lacrosse, which I'm getting from. I'm getting used to the lacrosse thing now. I'm getting psyched up now. I want to go out there and get one of those. What do you call those things?
The stick.
Yeah, I want to get the stick. Really, get out there and I'd have to get in a little bit of shape. Plus, I'd have to get this hip that's bothering me replaced, which is going to be done on August 7th. So, and Lincoln had another 6-foot defender, huh? There's another lady that must have given you some trouble. 6 feet tall, huh? Wow. She gave you some fits, Casey.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really see anyone else besides my face guarder throughout the whole game, but
Wow.
yeah, no, but watching their defense play, they had solid players, definitely.
Now, how does it feel having a mom coaching you? Was that?
It definitely takes.
I think I asked you this last year too.
Maybe, yeah. It definitely gets, got to get used to it. But through the 3 years, I think we figured out certain ways, like certain things that Coach Dave and Coach Jono talked to me about, and stuff that she can put in on, and I think we've really figured out like a boundary between like mom and coach, like especially during practices.
Yeah. What do you call her? You call her mom or coach?
I call her coach usually. I mean, I don't like to call her mom on the field as much. I don't find it as professional. But
oh boy. Okay. And Gianna, you're what, a junior?
Yeah.
And you're also someone I see every once in a while at the Andrea. So take good care of me when I'm down there. Anyway, this has been quite a session here. I think that the biggest thing that to take out of it for all the people that are listening out there is to support this group of girls and the boys too. Boys did really well. Not as good as the girls. Girls did fantastic. They had a great year, and a lot to be proud of, Dave.
It is, and I'd like to at least notice that these girls are all committed to play in college.
Wow. Okay, that's good. Good to know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
They should be very proud. They've worked hard. It's not easy to get into a college that you want to either play for and find the right college that you want to get your education from and be able to do both. And these three girls have managed to
yeah.
do
You want
this.
to tell us a little bit about what college there's that you've committed to?
Yeah, I'm committed to Eastern Connecticut State University. For
Oh, that's
lacrosse.
not too far away. Yeah.
No.
All right. Okay. And how about you, Casey?
I'm also committed to Eastern.
Oh, Easton?
Yeah. Yep. We'll be going there and after following year with one of our old teammates, Hannah Seltzer. She's there as well. And we both fell in love with the team and the school. So it's very exciting.
All right. And how about you?
I'll be attending Westfield State University in the fall.
Oh, it's up in Massachusetts, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Very excited.
you're gonna play lacrosse. Yep. Fantastic. All right. Anybody else you got going up there, Dave?
No, just so far these three.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you've got some seniors that are pretty good too, right?
We have some seniors that are pretty good, but there's another level of what you have to do that you just can't walk on these schools. You got to prepare as these girls did. Sophomore, junior, you have to start playing in travel teams. There's a lot of work involved in it. I did it with my daughter. So at least I have some experience and can help players out to kind of figure out this is the way you have to do it.
Yeah, it's just not wanting to go. You gotta put.
There's a lot of work
put all the
into
pieces together. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I understand.
These
that.
girls did it. They've played on
Wow.
travel teams. They've gone to prospect days. They've visited a bunch of different colleges. It's a big decision for them. And, and it's a growing decision too. I mean, it's a growing thing for these girls because they have to do it on their own. Parents really cannot help. That was one thing that I did notice when my daughter Ashley was doing it. The more help that I tried to give, the worse it is. The coaches want them to do the work. They have to call them.
Yeah,
They have to
explain that.
call
Explain
them.
that. That's the coaches. You mean coaches meaning you guys?
No, the coach. Yes, if I'm a coach for a college, these girls need to reach out to me, not the moms and the dads. These girls have to do the work. They want to see them interview with me. They want to see them communicate somehow. They need to do all the work.
So this is a different animal that we're talking about. The way the old timers think about like that. This is. I'm getting that this is a different way of doing things. From my perspective, it's not like the old days where the coach just, hey, I got someone down here that would you'd like to take a look at, and it's not like that anymore.
No, it's difficult to get the coaches to come here. These two did a great job with getting the coach to come here, but it also helped that she's not far away. I'm not. Yes, your coach came, I think, too. But when you start, like my daughter was in Pennsylvania, she didn't come here. The only way she was going to get noticed was travel teams and then doing everything else these girls did, doing prospect days, spending overnights, trying to meet the team. It's a great experience because not only do they get that part of it, but they get to stay overnight at the college. They get to get into more of the college than you would just on a college tour. They're just not walking around. They're getting in. They might go to class with some of the players. They're eating with them.
Unbelievable. Fantastic. That's good information. Yeah, it is to get out there.
Right. So these girls, when they pick a college, most of the time I think it sticks because they've been able to get more involved in the process of picking what they want and seeing what's out there. Campus lifestyles. They might be able to go out with the players doing something fun.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah. So you've been coaching Westerly for how long now, Dave?
Head coach this is my second year. I was helping as an assistant coach with Meg Paisley.
Yeah,
I did that for a while. When my daughter came up as a freshman, I took a step back because same situation that Casey's in. I figured, you know what, let her kind of get her bones and figure out if she starts or she doesn't start. It's not because I'm on the sideline.
Right.
Casey did not start because her mom's on the sideline. So that's a good start because the team can't just say, oh, your parent plays, that's why you're playing. No, let them show why they're playing, and it's quickly noticeable. And then they lost their assistant coach, so Meg asked me to, because I was only volunteering, to help her.
Well, you've done. I can see you've done quite a job with these three here, and wow, this is a tremendous way to think of. It's not only just the sport itself; it's developing the mind and the body of these young ladies.
It is, and I leaned on my daughter because she just graduated, so she played for 4 years. I leaned on her to understand the college game, and then I can bring that to these guys. So I think that I've changed our high school, the way we play, more towards what they may see in college, and then I'll lean on these guys now to kind of continue that. You know, what is the culture supposed to be? What are the practices supposed to look like? I think the high school rules need to start changing to mimic more of the college, but that's another whole story.
Yeah.
Especially in our game. I got to at least hit on this. There's a shot clock in college. You only have 90 seconds, which is a long time.
Right.
In overtime, it was 3 minutes. We never saw the ball.
Wow.
If there was a shot clock, we may have gotten the ball back. That's the reason they put that in there, so that you can't waste all of that time. You have to make a decision and go forward. We lost the draw, which again was a big part.
You're talking about the championship game.
The championship game.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So now we have 3 minutes in overtime before we go to another overtime. They get the ball, and what they score with 30 seconds left, I think in the
10 seconds.
10 seconds left. So granted, they did a great job holding the ball for 3 minutes.
Oh my God!
But
really?
To hold it that long, we never got to see the ball again. And years ago, Maryland did that to a team. They were up by 1 or 2. They held the ball for over 4 minutes, and the other team could just never get the ball. So then they put the shot clock in there to stop teams from doing that. So that's kind of put the shot clock so that you just can't hold the ball that long.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're just about ready to wrap it up. Anything you guys want to say? Go left to right here. What about your coach? About your teammates? But what?
Well, I definitely think, like, I said, like, with the loss, it's never fun. But if you look over our whole season, we still had an amazing season. We have a great group of girls, and especially I think with girls sports, we create such a bond. And I mean, not every girl plays a sport like a lot of guys do. So it's really cool. Like, we have a special group that we hopefully will keep the culture going with, like, seniors graduating and us coming up as seniors. Like, it's a big role to step into. And I think our prior seniors left a really good spot for us. So very excited for our next season.
Fantastic.
Yes, I think this season was really amazing too, because we never expected to be in the position that we were. Moving up, I think we all kind of thought we would be, as Dave said, like middle of the pack, like win some, lose some, but we never really thought to make it this far. And we were so grateful that we were. We worked so hard all season last year and this year, and it was just amazing to see it all come together in the end.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was just a lot of hard work. It was definitely kind of an unexpected season. So I'm really happy with the way everything turned out. And I think that we kind of left our mark. I guess, like you said, it was a very iconic game for Westerly.
And I think you will. You'll continue. I think with the coaches and your other teammates, I think you're going to continue on. I think I'm getting a good feeling, and you've converted one former football player to give you guys a lot of not just publicity, but just a lot of going to the games and cheering, and can't wait now. Ready to go. Seriously, you. How about you, David? You want to say anything?
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 years, I continue to grow just like I asked the players to grow. So there's a lot of stuff that I'll be working on to help with culture and decision making. It's not all about the X's and O's, as I've noticed this year. You got to manage players, you got to manage seniors. People are playing 2 sports, distractions, whether it be, I don't know, proms and senior days off.
Yes.
And
yeah. Oh, yeah. We forgot about the
and
proms.
at the most important part of the season, which is the end of the season. So there's things that I've learned and that I'll try to correct. But for the most part, I love coaching these girls. I've been with them for a while. I'm looking forward to our 2 junior captains stepping up, becoming more leaders, showing their leadership. We have girls that I think that are coming up that will take to that very easily. They all want to play. They all want to work. And congratulate Allison. She's been with me for quite some time. We've played in high school. She's played in the off season. I met her a long time ago when she just finished with Whale. We did little summer stuff, and I saw her talent right away. Was very excited to see her come up, and there's no question that I will have her schedule in my calendar so that I can see them play. I'll go on because they're televised, so I'll be able to stream her games and sit and watch. I'll pull information from some of the stuff that I see them doing and bring it back.
Yeah. Well, one of the good things about this mechanism of streaming is that a lot of the games are on 3-2-1 media, so
yes,
people get to see what's going on. In fact, one of our openings may be Dan, maybe one of the girls' lacrosse games.
Oh, I'm sure, 100%.
Yeah, the one that the Greg Murano was doing. I think that was the championship game. I think it's either the girls or the boys. I'm not sure if exactly, but they're getting more and more out there. And I know you converted one guy right here. It's going to be fun. It'll be fun watching the games.
You guys do a great job. In fact, whenever you guys do one of our games, that's what I use as my film study because it's clearer, it's nicer.
Yeah.
Well, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. How do you manage the prom thing and all that stuff? For this one, for the junior prom, I'll give them the day off because before we would have to practice like 5:30 in the morning, and there is nothing really got out of that practice other than the girls are tired. It's still a work in progress. Let's just say that. Let's just say it's a work in progress. For the other stuff, we have to figure out a better way. I can tell you from my own experience, I don't mean when I was in school, but my former partner, who's no longer with us, unfortunately passed away, Lou Mazzucci, we used to really, really follow a lot of the sports. And we decided that we were going to go up to Central Connecticut to watch the New England track and field championships. But that was back when Westerly was winning state championships and New England championships, and they won like 6 in a row, state championships. And that day it was rainy, it was cold, and of course Dave Fed was the coach, and it didn't look like the girls were doing that well, and Dave wasn't very happy. So the next to last event was 4x800, and they were supposed to be the premier, 4x800 team in New England, and about three quarters of the way through the 800, the girl from Westerly that was third was about halfway around the track, and Westerly's 4x800 really premier in a state in New England, gets the baton, and she wins the event by about the same amount of distance. It was just unbelievable. You had to see it to believe it. When Samantha Gorich still holds all the records for the 4x800, the 1000. She's fantastic. So Lou and I, we were happy. We said, "Geez, that was a great event." So we're going looking for Dave because we wanted to interview him for the radio, and he's got the girls in this room, and I said, "Lou, we can't interview him now. He's screaming and yelling. Don't." And what he was saying, you girls from now on, you're gonna pick either the senior prom or you're gonna pick this track event. And he was screaming and yelling. I said, "Oh my God, we can't interview him now, Lou. He's so mad." But really, it was. I can see the dichotomy that you have a little bit of a. What do? You can't really stop the boys or the girls from really doing their thing.
It's really. I think at the end of the day, it's based off of the season. If we played lacrosse in the fall or the winter, I don't think these are much of an issue. But as these girls are graduating, specifically you seniors, it's a little harder sometimes to keep them focused because it's the end of the school year.
Yeah, right.
So they need to enjoy themselves, but they're playing a sport as well.
Yeah, and plus that this is it for them. They're not. A lot of them are not going.
Exactly. The weather's breaking now. Yeah. They want to do other things.
Right.
So
we were all that age once.
But it's the end of the season, so it's the end of the school year.
So Massera scored 8 in Westerly's semifinal win. That was pretty fantastic. How did you feel about that?
It was a really good game, yeah, overall, and a bunch of my shots were assisted by teammates, so that's definitely a key factor. Like, I need my team; they help me get there, and the points, yeah, they're great, but to see like behind the scenes, that's
how do you get an assist?
So an assist it's a pass from another teammate to a direct goal. So it's either from me cutting off or, just some kind of cut, and a girl like Gianna or Allison hits me with a feed and I score. So it's a 2-man play.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Dan, what do you think? You want to take a break now? I think we're probably almost ready to wrap it up.
Yeah. But I'll say one thing before we close off
go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, no, you guys have definitely done I think us bringing attention to you guys is definitely something that's warranted and needed, because as someone who has a little sister that just graduated, she going to her games compared to going to the guys' games from this past year. It's more of a competitive to see the girls play than the guys. I think the girls competed a lot more, and I think the girls honestly are better as far as athletes, and I feel like they succeed more than the guys in a lot of the sports that have been going on, especially recently.
Good job, Dan. Dan and Trary. Wow. Look sharp with those sunglasses, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
And you're on. Were you on video or?
No, I'm behind the camera, so it's
behind
all
the
you
camera?
guys.
Oh, all right. Good. Well, I want to thank Dave Amato. Did a great job today, and I keep my mind is missing your first and last name.
Gianna Falcone.
Gianna Falcone. How could I? That's a very Italian Westerly name, right? Right. And Casey Massera and Faubert is your last name. Can't remember your first name though.
Allison.
All right, Allison Faubert, Casey Massera, Gianna Falcone. Correct?
Yes.
Dave Amato. Okay. Boy, that was great. And I just want to say, man, I'll tell you, the town of Westerly, the whole town, and the people that support athletics really have got to shine a light on girls lacrosse. It's fantastic. And I've read the articles over and over again, and I really mean it when I say we will be supporting girls lacrosse this coming fall, spring. It's coming spring, right? All right. Take it away, Dan.